I'll call this meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Walden,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Burgess,
Here.
Alright, can I get a motion to approve the wastewater committee meeting for January 17th, 2023?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Alright, thank you. Under old business, did we ever get with the city attorney, Jack? Do you know if anything
Derek
on
said
that
he
one?
was going to.
Okay, alright, I'll get with Derek on that, see if there's anything been discussed on that. So, under new business, I'm not gonna worry about reading all that. I don't know, I forgot to tell you, Jack, I don't know if Derek told you, that Dial is going to take that dirt.
Yeah, I talked to Alan.
Okay, alright, good deal.
Yeah, that's
So-
good. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so we don't have to worry about that, he's already kinda moved it around, if you noticed that, so they should be getting rid of that here soon. The only thing really left was, I guess that drainage, pipe underneath the road has got a lot of stuff in that. I guess, Jim that was digging it out got in there a little bit and said there's a lot of stuff in there. It'd be nice to get that cleaned out, and then we should be all cleaned out and ready to rock and roll, other than that middle strip, which they said they'd take care of.
So we want to get it jetted out.
Huh?
We want to jet that line out.
Whatever you think would work best.
That's
Yeah.
the only way we'd be able to clear it out.
Jet it out.
Yeah, we have to hire a plumbing service to come in and
Okay.
you bring their jetter and jet it.
Okay,
We can do that.
alright, good deal, and I think once we do that, we should be done with that. So then, sanitary sewer phase 1, are we good on that with the zero, balance of zero?
Ron, there was some
Right,
issues with how the funds were being distributed.
so when Mark left, he left a big spreadsheet, and there was still like $1,900 that, was not jiving somewhere, and I don't know, if anybody's still even working on that,
Okay. I think that's about what it was before, is like, he said
Right.
something like $2,000.
I know the contractor's starting to get a little antsy for the phase 2, first payment, which is 62,000 some odd dollars. So I guess I'm not really sure how to solve this, problem, I guess, so.
Now, is it a discrepancy or is it just the funds are in the wrong, they've been applied to the wrong account?
Well, I think it's the wrong account thing, and so there's a total across the bottom of this account, this account, this account, the loan accounts, I think, and then you come over here, and there's a total down at the bottom of that, and they should be equal, and they're $1,900 off, and I'm not exactly sure where all the numbers came from to build the spreadsheet, so it's hard for me to try to check, I guess.
Would Angel have any of those answers?
Possibly.
I think that Mark and Angel were working on it together,
Okay.
and a new, I think.
If
Well-
Angel isn't able to answer your question, is Mark available to take phone calls with any outstanding questions?
Probably from the city,
Yeah.
if Angel wanted to reach out to him, I would
Okay.
imagine, but, he's not gonna have, he's not gonna have that information anymore.
Well, I'll see if I can figure out where, I need to sit down, maybe start with Anu, and I know she
Anu's
worked
got a
on
pretty
it.
good a line of contact with Angel too, so.
Okay,
Okay.
well, we'll see if we can help sort it out. But I guess at some point, we need to pay this contractor, in the meantime, I guess, is my feeling. I don't know what your feeling is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like bond and insurance and stuff like that, right, for
It's-
sewer phase 2?
Yeah. I think it's just a mobilization
Okay.
cost. I don't have the invoice in front of me.
Have we approved a request for it yet?
It's my understanding the request was approved by the board, and the EPA's even issued a check to cover it,
Mhm.
so, that tells me everything's been processed.
And if we've approved it, we need to pay it within 90 days. Prompt Payment Act.
Well, it
I don't
sounds
know how
like
long it's been.
it dates back to October is my understanding, according to, Mickey at Petersburg, in an email.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably pay that, you know, I don't know. If we had a discrepancy of, you know, $50,000 in the sewer phase one account, you know, maybe it would be something good to hang on to, you know, zero everything out before we have any disbursements, but
Right.
$1,900 on an $8 million project.
And I'm not saying that we won't find that $1,900 at
No,
some
it's,
point,
and Mark
yeah.
even said, you know, it's been put in the wrong account, it's not in capital outlay, it's been put somewhere else.
I'll have a new, explain to me how the spreadsheet was built, and
Okay.
maybe I can help. I am pretty good at organizing things, so.
Alright, so why don't we send that to finance, let finance talk about it and try to get it on the agenda for council?
Right, and also I'd like to see that jetting for GSI put on the agenda as well.
That's fine, I don't have any
That needs
prices
to
or
be
anything,
taken care of.
if we wanna call it, I mean, you know, if you want me to throw a number out, you know, we could just get it approved for $2,500. It shouldn't be, you know,
That needs to be taken care of.
that's fine. So as long as it's, you know, I think we can call it $2,500, get that approved through finance, yeah, I think so. And we should, you know, we can definitely get everything opened up for that much, regardless of who we use, but, you know, I guess as long as it's under whatever finance approves it at, or council approves it at, we'll just use anybody with jetter. Okay. Yeah, that shouldn't be much.
Okay. Jump down to the Leafland lift station. Where we at on that, Jack?
What do you approve have all the manholes and stuff been approved? Or is it just the lift station?
Just the lift station has been approved.
Okay, so, I would imagine we'll need to get shop drawings from Mickey for manholes.
We have shop drawings. I think there was a couple of elevations that still needed to be verified
Okay.
before we signed off on the manholes.
So that plan on maybe Romero coming in. Okay, so then they may come in before the manholes typically they would wait, once the manholes get approved and built, they start bringing manholes in, Petersburg would mobilize and come down here, but they're gonna have quite a bit of time on that lift station, which has already been approved. So I'm assuming if they get is the base getting poured in place? Yeah, the base is getting poured in place, so once they coordinate with their subcontractor on the base of that lift station, but they're probably not gonna come in until we pay their mobilization fees, like Ron was talking about.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's my perception that payment has been approved
We should have the
by the
check from
board.
the state.
Yeah, so, I mean, you shouldn't need to have another board meeting, I
Right.
guess, to approve it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Solana Rush Shell project's 98% closed out. We don't need anything on that anymore,
No.
do we? Okay. Take that off. And, a new invoice will be coming for well 10.
That's been
That
paid.
can be come off. And we don't need to discuss anything about the grow assumption, do we, this evening? And then we've got the 313 West Third Street was discussed addressing a drainage issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same deal. We're either gonna have to pretty much ditch that whole block to get any water to move through there. You can see it now. We went over there with just spades and dug down to her culvert. It hasn't been exposed in a long time. it's full of mud. You know, there may have been water trickling through the top of it, but it's certainly not any worse than it's ever been before. I agree with her. There's really not much drainage over there. There's probably more that can be done, but that's, you know, you gotta go block by block by block to get water to start running down 3rd Street there. So, other than a large scale ditching project, which, you know, we've got some ditching buckets, but we don't have the equipment to come through an entire, or the time, come through a whole town and start ditching. Small flat town, you know, we need a lot of work done on our ditches all through the entire town, not just there.
So on that 3rd Street, Jack, so we don't have it, I mean, it's all about the same, right? We don't have some ditches or, I mean, it's all, I haven't,
Everybody's got some, you know, somewhat of a ditch. They're old culverts
Just
in their
old.
driveways, you know, that have collapsed,
gotcha.
or that are just plugged full of dirt. You know, like I said, the whole town needs ditched.
Yeah,
But yeah, that water should run north down La Rochelle and then turn east down 3rd Street.
okay,
There's even like a little bridge on the 3rd Street side of their ditch that goes to their mailbox.
yeah,
If you notice it or not.
yeah. Well, I mean, what do we wanna do with that? Just leave it as is for now, or we don't wanna,
You know, like I said, it's gonna be a big project. Try to
Right.
get, you know, all of La Rochelle and then down 3rd Street. You know, we can. I don't know if it would, you know, even make them happy to dig out the other side of the ditch. Which, you know, none of that, nothing on the south side of their driveway was ever disturbed. And you
okay.
can't even see the culvert there.
Uh,
Which, you know, that would be my only thing is, you know, if the north side is open, we could open the south side, and it might, you know, make them happier, but
Would
It's
it
not a
help the
long-term-
flow?
it will, if you get some, you know, gully washer that's backing up into their driveway, yeah, it'll probably, the water's gonna stand in their ditches, but it might keep it out of the driveway. You know, I'm not sure exactly what they're dealing with, if it's big rains that's backing up there, or if it's just water pooling in that trench we dug, or,
She talked like it was getting in, you know, flooding the driveway basically.
yeah, I mean, it will help a little bit, it'll give her a little more attention time to open that up. If we just you know, basically do the same thing we did on the north side to the south side of the driveway, and dig it down, let the water, you know, move all the dirt that's stuck in that culvert.
Okay.
yeah. We can try
But
that.
like I said, other than ditching that whole block, it's not gonna do a whole lot.
Anything would be a help.
Yeah. Okay. And, I'm not gonna read that entire thing on that
So
abandoned
yeah,
building.
that's that strip over there by Butcher's. She bought those few buildings over there. We do have water. You know, I don't know if anybody's seen it or not, but we cut out some of the walkway there, the sidewalk there, poured it back. Luckily, that building was when it originally had water, it was under the influence of lead, so we were able to put a new service line with our lead funding, which is 100% forgiveness. So that's
good.
all the concrete's done, patches in. She needs to do some interior plumbing of her own to
Okay.
get water that building, but we've certainly done our part.
Okay. That's good.
So the city's part is done.
Yes.
Good deal.
Nice job, thank you.
Yeah. Alright, any public comments? Nothing? Susie, do you have anything to add?
No, I just wanted to check on 331 West Third.
I've got so we finished over on Samuel Street, that water main. We've got the south services are hooked up, the services on the south side of the road. We've got two more services to hook up on the north side of the road, which we've got parts in here to do that. We're gonna do that in-house. Once that's done, we need to abandon the 2-inch main that we replaced. The whole reason we put that 6-inch main in was so we could tie all those services over into a 6-inch line. Now we need to do what's called line stops.
Okay.
Basically, they put a temporary valve inside the lines so that it shuts off a section of it so we can cut and cap
Cap it.
those other sides. Now, doing that in one area is going to eliminate a fire hydrant on the corner of La Rochelle and Samuel.
Okay.
It's in an area that needs a fire hydrant.
So,
It is in the area that
Yes.
needs one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we're doing a lot of water main work, and we're putting hydrants all over town, but we are lacking hydrants, especially on the west side of town. So, I think it's important we get one in there. I did get a quote from Burdick. This is 2 line stops, so they're about $2,500 a piece for a line stop if we get them done ourselves. You gotta expose the water main that we're gonna shut off in 2 spots, and have a truck come in, put what's called a line stop in. They put a valve in there, close it temporarily. We gotta get 2 restraint caps, 4-inch caps or big brass caps. We need to do a hot tap, a 6-inch hot tap, which we will have to hire out. And then we gotta set the hydrant. We do have a hydrant at the shop that we can use. It's from 2015. It's not brand new, but
Okay.
it's functional. We can save some money there. But Burdick's quote was $18,750 for that work.
Okay.
If we do it in house, it's going to be about $10,000. And I'd also like to, be able to spend another $2,000 on outside help. It's a big job, and it all has to be done within a few hours while that line is shut down,
You're right.
because they'll only guarantee those lines being shut off for like 4 hours. So it's a bigger project than we can really do with just a couple of us.
Yeah.
So that's why I bid it out. They did come in quite a bit higher than I thought they were going to.
Okay. But it's
So-
something you guys could do with some extra manpower.
We would definitely need some extra manpower. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot cheaper than having
Yeah,
Burdick.
it is.
Okay.
And I was kind of hoping Angel would be here, but I do need. I don't know. Maybe I can talk to her, Janet, if you write this down. I do need an up-to-date budget. Specifically, where the ARPA accounts stand, because this is all eligible for American Rescue Plan Act money.
Okay.
We just need to see where we're at with it.
so there would be a period of time, like a 4-hour period of time that,
No one would lose service, but
okay.
yes,
And what about the fire hydrant? That would be out of,
that would be out of service, which is that's very common. I mean, that hydrant will actually be out of service for like 48 hours because it will be need to be tested, need to disinfect it.
and you would let Herbie know about that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, what we do is we put it's like the international sign for this hydrant. It's not, you can't use it. We just put a black garbage bag over it.
Okay,
But yeah, we always let them know when we put new hydrants and stuff.
okay.
Anything else, Jack?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, actually, I did have something. It just slipped my mind. You're gonna have to give me a second. I can't remember.
Alright,
Must not be very important.
Candy, do you have anything?
No, I'm good.
Chastain, you got anything to add?
So there's some invoices for the, lead, non-lead, contracts that, are outstanding, I guess, or, to try to get them closed out. So there's a Division A, which is the nitrate, project. There's a $22,615 dollars even, yeah. And that is,
And these already been approved? These are pay requests that have already been approved?
I don't believe they've been approved.
No, we're gonna put them on the agenda.
These are new pay requests.
This is what a news sent me this morning.
Oh, is my copy on it?
I don't know,
Or is this is what the
that's
next
what
one
it is here, yeah, I'll send you a copy of it.
So that's the, Division A, Division B2, which is another non-lead, 3,900 and, 3981.94, which is just, release of retainage. And this other one, shows all the retainage having been released as well, this, Division A number.
Oh. So that's the change too.
Yes. And then, Division B1, which is the lead loan, $36,444.51. This one. And I believe that includes release of the retainage as well, $7,000, 7246.91 in retainage. And then there's 3 change orders, which are all deducts, which have to do with, balancing the quantities that, for some items that didn't get completed or weren't needed. One of them is on the nitrate zone loan, and that's $42,600 credit. And then the non-lead B2, Division B2 non-lead is $8,978.15. So this is just to reconcile the quantities in the contract versus all of the installed quantities. And then the last one is for Division B1, which is the lead service loan. It's a credit of $41,784.40. So we'll put together a formal change order form for each one of these to be approved at the board meeting.
Okay.
The $62,000 one you were talking about from October,
Yes.
that's already been approved and we just haven't paid it, sent the check yet? I'm assuming
Not
if
100%
it's,
positive, I don't know. I don't remember. I'll have to ask Derek and Angel. Anything else?
That's all of it together is that 62,000, right?
No, I think the 62,000 is a separate invoice that, Petersburg submitted for mobilization.
Oh, yeah,
On
okay.
phase
Yeah,
2
all right, I'm
project,
with you.
it's, yeah, and there was some discussion
'Cause
that,
this is also 62,000.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, but there was some discussion between Mark and Angel or whoever, and.
Yeah, I think they wanted to get.
They were hoping to be able to balance
Yes.
this spreadsheet, and I think Mark finally gave up on it himself, and, it was down to that $1,900 figure, and, so,
Maybe if you get with New and, bring Angel into the fold, maybe they can all jog each other's memories. Oh, I remember what it was. Brandon Rarick, he's gonna start mobilizing and stuff for fiber. He's wanting to know if he can if he buys a hydrant meter, if we will allow him to fill up fire hydrants. We have bulk water, fills on a 2-inch line, he's trying to fill semis, you know,
Yeah.
typically takes anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to fill a semi with our 2-inch bulk water line. We've told people no, that they can't, they have to use the bulk water line, we told people yes. Like when the 51 got bid out to be resurfaced, we allowed the contractors to come in and basically show us the meter before they start. We wrote down the number. When they were done with the project, they showed us the meter. You know, I'm telling you, we opened an account for them. You know, it's I don't have any issues with
Who
it.
did you refuse to let do that?
I don't remember now. I know that the citizens in town wanted to do it for pools. We definitely said no for that. I can't remember. I know that this has been brought up multiple times. People asking if we could buy or if they could buy a hydrant meter, and we've typically told them we have bulk water, use bulk water. Because the state contractor come in, we have a hydrant meter. These are the 2 hydrants. We're going to be right over here the whole time. So I really don't.
Is there any cons to letting them do that?
I'm not. I mean, there's potential for some, for them to shut a valve on their semi instead of using the hydrant valve, breaking water mains.
We have enough problems with that.
And as long as you're learned in it and careful and you know what you're doing, it's a non-issue. You can fill up a hydrant all day. The fire department, they're trained in doing this too. So I'm fine with it. I told him, just what I'm telling you guys, we've told people no, we've told people yes. I'll bring it to the board, see what they want to do.
Why does he not wanna go out there and
Just
fill
the
up
time it takes.
It takes
It takes
hours
like
to fill up a big truck.
there's a farmer in town who's got a big, big old tanks, 8,000 or 9,000 gallons, and he comes in at about 3 o'clock in the morning and sleeps while it fills, because it takes 3 or 4 hours. Small business,
Yeah.
Doesn't have very many employees, probably can't pay somebody to sit in a semi for 10 hours a day just filling trailers.
So you're comfortable with him doing it? Maybe if he just goes over his process or whatever with you, and you're
Yeah, and I
on
told
site when he first starts,
And I
and
told him, if you guys do something, you blow a water main, we're gonna call a plumbing outfit to come in here and fix it, and you're gonna foot the bill. And he
Right.
said, yeah, I know, our guys know how to use a hydrant.
Yeah.
So we'll go over with him all, if you guys are alright with it. And the hydrant meter's, $1,200 or so. That's why we said we're not gonna buy one.
Right, okay,
And he said he'd buy one,
yeah.
so.
Well, they will have to be responsible if something happens.
yeah, I
If something
agree.
goes wrong, it
And
is on them.
So, one thing that does make me more comfortable is that they've been working in Moequa, putting fiber in for months and months and months now. Over a year now, really. They've had some issues where they've hit mains and service lines, and they're all hands on deck. What equipment you need us to dig, they've stayed out freezing cold, 10 o'clock at night, their crew stayed on there helping us fix it. So it's, they are committed to it. I don't think they're gonna say, well, it's not our problem.
Right.
So that makes me quite a bit more comfortable with it.
I mean, I don't know, is that something we would want, would we want to have something written up for them to sign that just says they are liable?
Basically, yeah,
Or do we already have something like that, or?
not that I know of,
Okay, well, probably wouldn't be a bad idea just to have,
basically if, if what
Yeah.
you're doing causes a water main break, you guys are
Right.
liable for it. Yeah.
right,
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't think he would be either.
yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
And we'll probably have, I'll probably have them fill off the hydrant right by the water plant too. So, we'll know when they're coming and going, and
Right.
how about how, that truck holds the same amount of water every time. So if we see 10 trucks in there and it's only 2 trucks worth of water, we'll
Right.
know.
Right, okay.
Is he gonna be doing this the same time that other company is? think this will
Probably.
start in a couple
And
weeks.
also, there's another Metro, they're just getting done with Moeca too. I think they're going to,
Is that where they're hand digging up there?
yep, I think they're going to Blue Mound or something, but then they'll have done like Blue Mound, Macon, Moequa. You'd think, we'd be next.
They
It's-
are already working in Blue Mound.
Yeah, they are, that company that was in Moequa, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're pretty much done in Moequa. But I would expect, that's kind of the way of the future. There's going to be, it's only good it's going to suck for us when they come and bore all these new lines and all these utilities and alleys and stuff, but, it's good for the citizens, there's a competitive market for internet. We don't have that now.
A lot of Julie locates.
So, everything, they're
Blue
doing
Peg's hard to find right now.
they're going to every single house in town, so.
Alright, Janet, you have anything? No? Okay, well, if nobody has anything else, I'll call this meeting adjourned, thank you.
Alright.